Welcome back where we sharpen that iron, polish that rush, make a brand new iron here on this podcast with your host, this guy. You ever wonder why you feel tired, low energy, and seem you can't lose the weight despite the fact that you're eating right? It's not about the calories. It's about eating the right types of foods and how it affects you day inside out. Now we're breaking down how these foods impact you based on the choices you make on a daily basis of your overall performance, your energy, and your weight loss journey. Now, to understand this better, this part of the section is about 75% of the reason why you can't lose the weight. And what do I mean why it's 75%? Well, it's because like once you know the foods, and again, the important role of how it affects you internally, externally, and your look, that's going to be the most important part because again it's not the calories. So when we're diving deeper into what that 75% portrays in, again it circles back again based on what I just said, why you having that low energy, why you're feeling tired, and why you seem you can't lose the weight. So looking at a broader spectrum is when you go reaching out for those fun foods, whether that's junk food, fast food, and things like that, you're not realizing what your body is responding to and the type of response it's making. When have these foods, have the fast food, the junk food, and that your body is responding to you being tired, low energy, nostalgic, lethargic, excuse me, and you're just not feeling the way that you should or looking the way you should, is because your body's telling you a reason. And it's that reason is why you're not listening to what your body's trying to tell you. And this is why it's very important. Again, it's why it relates back to being 75% of the battle is because you're not reasoning your body with the right nourishment of foods. And this is why it becomes an issue of why it becomes a stallment, frustration, and it's an uphill battle of trying to lose the weight. So when it comes to learning about these foods, you have to understand where you have to dissect this issue of going into it. So whether it's like, all right, you're having fast food, like, let's just say 3 or 4 times a week, or your person having junk food every single day, is like, cool, let's replace that with another like nutritious snack. Let's replace it with another nutritious meal and things like that. So it's like when we're doing those things, we have to slowly detox ourselves away from these foods to figure out what foods is causing us to feel that way. Now, again, I understand this feeling. I understand it's a very hard relationship with those foods because, again, like it's very tasty, it's great, it's savory, it's satisfying too. And if you want to look at it, it's rewarding. But trust me, like when you understand how to win this battle, your weight loss journey and the way you want to look and the way you want to feel, it's going to skyrocket more than what you're currently doing right now. I'll give you a personal story about myself. When I was in college, I was a person until I had to put on size. Again, no guys, no plan, had no clue what I need to do. So, the thought process of me going through this journey was I'll just eat anything and everything in sight. So I'll double my meals. I'll snack on Pop Tarts, Cliff Bars. I have waffle nights, pizzas. I'll just do anything and everything inside that I have fast food or sugary snacks on top of what my daily meal consumption was from school. Fast forward to or transition to when I moved down to Texas, those habits still apply the same thing because when I was trying to bulk and build muscle for bodybuilding, I repeated the same habits. Again, I didn't have no guidance, no plan or anything like that, so I thought that was the only way to go. But now I'm going into when I was trying to go in a deficit and very drastic cut and things that it was very hard for me to you know, relay away from those foods in the same way because I enjoy it so much. But it's like once I got into a deficit, it was very hard because again, I was trying to slash a lot of calories or I was trying to slash a lot of weight within a short time period. So, and then afterwards, when I was done with the competition, I went back to the same habit because I was going to get ready for the next one, not realizing what the impacts of the food was doing. And now it's not just about the fun foods too; it's about the whole foods as well because when it comes down to with the whole foods over the time, I learned that I can't have dairy anymore. When it comes to Greek yogurt, milk, and things like that, my body just will respond well to dairy. But if we took on the opposite side of the fun foods, I can do pizza. I can do pizza all I want, and I got no problem with it. So it's just realizing and understanding what foods respond well with your body. Again, it's like when we go into this, and the reason I explain my story is because like that was a hard thing. Is like because again, I'm a fat kid, hard and things that. So when I'm trying to have these fun foods, I have to make sure I understand what foods respond well with my body and what foods don't. So let me take another thing. As like when I have milk, right? I can't do milk because it just makes me look like I'm pregnant and makes me bloated and it makes me inflamed. So let's take the opposite, right? If I go have spaghetti that's not gluten free, that shit's gonna fuck me up. I guarantee you, I'm gonna look like I'm pregnant. I'm gonna be bloated, all those things like that. So I understand it's like cool. If I go out to an Italian restaurant and if I go have some type of spaghetti, I know I gotta have gluten free or it's gotta be Italian made because that's the only way my body responds very well to it. Now again, if there's no other selections for it and I got to pay the consequences, I'll pay it. But at the same time, I understand like, yeah, I'm not gonna be feeling great for a couple days. I'm gonna be feeling tired. I'm gonna feel like bloated. I'm gonna feel inflamed. I'm just gonna be feeling miserable inside. So you gotta understand, it's like when you're going for these fun foods, you also gotta understand how it affects you. Now, when I have my pizza, when I have my burgers, when I have my wings, I'm fine with it because I know those fun foods, despite yes, of course, the other different ingredients and chemicals that is inside of it, doesn't affect me to the point as the other foods that respond to my body differently. Now, again, I only eat these things about like once, maybe twice a week, but I'm just doing once a week because again, like for my sake and my purposes, like if I do it once a week, I'm able to go off the rails, and at the same time, I'm able to enjoy myself without feeling guilty because I know it's not going to impact my body as much because I'm pretty much doing like 90% of my diet is clean and that one meal is the only difference. So I know the factor is not going to play into it. But with that being said, it's like you might like, no, let's pull back away from the fun foods just for a little bit. So you can one figure out what foods, again, whole nutritious foods work well with your body. Again, sometimes like for me, I do red meat. For you, red meat might not be an option for you. Even though it's classified as a superfood and things like that is a nutritious food, you might not be able to break it down, digest it as easily as I do and things like that. So you might have to rely on more on chicken, turkey, fish, whatever the case is, and things like that. So it's like things you have to find out. Again, you could do Greek yogurt, but I can't do Greek yogurt. So again, it's you finding different things that food responds well to your body. And it's the same concept as, when you have these fun foods. You might not like pizza, but if you have a burger and you know you didn't feel anything different with the having a burger, it's like cool. You already know that one category of when you want to go out and you know you got a place that has a burger, that you're going to choose that burger every time because you know that it doesn't make you feel the way, let's say, the pizza does. So when we're going out and when we know these foods, this is why it's the 75% of the battle because you have to understand how these foods respond to your body. Now, I know you're wondering is like, how do these foods make my body respond that way? It's very difficult to, kind of understand, but at the overall, just get the better picture of just like, when we got these, like when you're consuming like these different chemicals, the different processed foods, the different ingredients, your body's going to react and respond in a different way. That's one's going to cause inflammation. Two is going to chemically compound of this different nutrients that your body's not going to be needing because at the same time, like, yes, even though it's kind technically count as calories, those are not the true calories you get as from the whole foods, as single ingredients, like again, like a steak, eggs, meat, whatever the case may be. When you make it yourself, like again, like if you're having a burger from McDonald's versus a burger you made homemade, it's a little bit different. So this is why it's very important to understand that the whole foods versus processed foods, the different combinations, and also to the different aspects that it portrays to the way you're an important role of the plays to your body inside out. So when we go into this is why it's very important to understand it, and this is why it makes you feel different ways. Same thing with sweets, right? You can have all the fruit you want, you're going to have energy throughout the entire day and you're not going to crash. Even though, despite the fact, yes, it is a sugar and it's natural sugar, it's not going to crash you as opposed to if you were to have a cookie or donut. Let's say you have cookies or donuts throughout the entire day. You can be up and down waves of, having high energy, you crashing, you even sleeping, you being tired, you being low energy. Then you're going to, rise again, have that spike of energy for about 10, 15 minutes. Then you're going to crash again. So that's the difference on how to understand the different ingredients or just the different chemical basis of how the foods respond to your body. Again, if you're going with sweets, you got to understand that your blood sugar is going to go up and down waves throughout the entire day if you keep consuming sweets. As opposed to if you continue, as you eat fruit, your blood sugar is going to stay like it's going to like jump up and kind of go, dip down a little bit, but it's not going to be as much as if you have the sweets. So this is why it's very important. Again, this is why it's 75% of the battle is to know your foods. Because once you understand this battle, then that's where calories come in. Because now you can understand, cool, how much food do I need to eat to make sure I'm getting the nourishment and I'm getting the daily intake that my body needs on a daily basis. So this is why it's very important to understand to know your foods. Because again, you want to know how to make sure your body feel more energized, look confident, losing the weight, as opposed to you can do what you're doing right now to being low energy, being tired, and seeing you can't lose the weight. So that's the differences, and that's the pathway you want to choose to. So I advise you, start right now. It'll take you a couple weeks, but those couple weeks, you're gonna see a bigger difference. Again, you have more energy. You're gonna notice a difference in your skin, and you're gonna be feeling more confident with the food selection you're choosing because you know the food response that's happening to your body. Because again, you can still have the fun foods. Trust me, I still do it myself and things like if you guys been like following me or paying attention, it's like I just did 30-inch pizza and I just did like donuts and cookies and things like that. Now, granted, it's like yeah, it might like be absurd and things like that, but at the same time, like I don't do it often or I don't do a lot to put myself in position to make me feel that way, right? Like, yeah, I can have it once a month or something like that to do that type of challenge. And I'm okay with it because, again, too, I choose the food selection I knew was going to respond well to my body. The only difference was, yeah, overindulge myself with the caloric intake of my body, 100%. But at the same time, like, you don't have to necessarily do that as me. You can just go out, order a food that works for you. Let's say a burger, just a burger, some fries, maybe a shake, depending on how the day works with your body. And that's it. Like that's all you have to do in things that to enjoy your life and to enjoy the fun foods without the guilt, without the stress, and all those things like that, right? So this is why it's very important to start understanding how to pick your foods wisely and how to know these foods respond well to your body. So when it just comes into it, to start right now, give it about a couple weeks. Let me know how it is for you. And I can guarantee you, you're going to start to notice a bigger difference on how your body's feeling when you start paying attention to what the foods are. Then again, because again, that's a 75% of the battle, and you're going to see a difference in your weight being shifted and your body composition shifting and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys get some value out of it. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more, or if you want me to go more in detail about certain things. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.